Today we're in for a treat because we're going to make a tarte tatin, but not the traditional tarte tatin dessert with caramelised apples. We're going to make it a savoury version with red onions and a little bit of goat's cheese, some chèvre from the market, and some toasted walnuts, some fresh thyme or rosemary, and that's it. It's vegetarian, it's healthy, it's quick to make, and there's not even a bit of caramel inside. No sugar. It's all in the natural ingredients of onions itself. What more could you ask for? Anyway, let's get cracking, shall we?
You'll just need 4 red or yellow onions, a ready prepared round of all butter puff pastry, some fresh rosemary or thyme, a little bit of salt and pepper, olive oil, some butter, handful of walnuts, and you could leave it at that and have no cheese, but in this case I got some gorgeous chèvre from the market, de Crottin de Chavignol, which is great for cooking, but if you're not keen on goat's cheese you can use some Comté. First peel, half and cut your onions into thin slices. Heat a large knob of butter and some olive oil in a non-stick pan over a medium heat. Either use a pan that can go directly in the oven, but I'm going to use a 23cm non-stick cake pan because my handle is far too long. That's a nice problem, eh? Cook your onions for about 15 minutes until they're lovely and soft. You just need to stir occasionally to coat the onions in the butter and the oil. Inspired by a French salad de chèvre chaud, I like to add some freshly chopped rosemary or thyme, but if you like you can add half a teaspoon of dried herbe de Provence. How much goat's cheese you use is entirely up to you, but for one large tarte tatin I used 3 thick slices each from 2 crottins. Using a non-stick cake pan or directly in a frying pan that transfers to the oven, transfer the onions evenly, placing the goat's cheese on top and a few turns of the pepper mill. When I hear the word chèvre, I can't help thinking of the catchy music to La Chèvre, you know, the cult French film with Pierre Richard and Gérard Depardieu. Oh, I'll have to play it for you in a minute. As the Tatin sisters did it at the end of the 19th century, they topped it with the pastry as they'd forgotten to put it at the bottom of their tart, and that's how the tarte tatin was accidentally created. You're just needing a larger disc than the pan itself and just tucking it around the onions. This, in this case, is a little bit too much I've got here, but I didn't want to get rid of any extra puff pastry. While I'm tucking it all in, I've got a few seconds to play you La Chèvre on the flute. More of that at the end. Look, I've made some tartlets, some small individual versions using small tartlet molds, and it's the same principle. Just use regular onions, Comté cheese instead of the chèvre, and you just tuck it in, press it on top, prick the pastry and cook it in the oven the same amount of time. While your tarte tatin is in the oven, you could be toasting some walnuts in a pan and serving it with a lovely little side salad. Out of the oven, place a serving plate larger than the pan over the top and carefully turn the tatin upside down onto the plate. Ta-da! Same principle with the tartlets. Serve with a little side salad of lamb's lettuce, that's salad de mâche, with a dribble of walnut oil or olive oil and white balsamic vinegar and your toasted walnuts, and the association is fantastic. Or you could even put the toasted walnuts, break them up and put them on top of your tarte tatin just like that and serve it as slices at the table. Bon appétit! And if you serve it with a chilled Sauvignon Blanc, the association with the chèvre cheese is fantastic, and it even brings out a taste of honey without even a touch of honey inside the tarte tatin itself.
Well, today this is for all of you who love a good old tarte tatin. It's the traditional French dessert made traditional. I haven't even had any wine yet.